party enjoys a high degree of diversity. There are different and diverse opinions which are allowed to flourish, which is a very good thing. There is a concept, there is a gentleman, I think he's an American, but of Lebanese descent, called Nassim Nicholas Taleb. He wrote a book called Anti-Fragile, and he developed this concept to say that all systems have three ingredients. Some systems are fragile, some systems are resilient, and some systems are anti-fragile. And he says the best state to be in is to be anti-fragile. So a fragile system is the one that can be blown by the wind like a candle in the wind and it goes off. Resilient systems is like having a rock. A hurricane can come and the rock will not be moved. But the most effective systems, he argues, are those that are anti-fragile, those that know when a hurricane comes, like a tree that is able to bend and rise back. In my language, among the great people of Toro, we say, or aman gorjegere and kuporo. How do you say it in Rushigri? But they have it also in Uganda.
The strength of every chain is in the case.
Is in the flexibility.
So to that degree, NRM has internal diversity and it is able to face very many pressures inside itself, which allows it to continually improve or develop and fragility. In the sense that it's like a tree. If you were to get a greenhouse, remove all wind and grow trees, and this experiment has been done scientifically. When the trees grew older, they fell on their own weight. Why do you think these normal trees always stand? When it is still young, the wind comes, it bends. As it bends this side, the roots develop strength. When the wind blows this side, the roots of the other side develop strength. So over time, it keeps going stronger and therefore is difficult to put down. So the positive thing about the NRM is that I think because of the internal struggles and all these things that is rising, I think they live in a good laboratory for learning and experimenting and improving whatever they are supposed to do. It also shows the level of competition inside the NRM shows that really outside of the NRM, the contestation for power is limited. In the sense, in fact, I felt that the struggles and the battles we saw in the NRM were a reflection of the weakness of the opposition. Because if NRM had external opponents who threatened its existence, it would be much more coherent internally in order to be able to fight the opponent outside. So its own internal divisions that we saw in that election, and that confusion is a reflection of the weakness of the opposition, which makes it internally lax. The third element, of course, and which you would admire about them is I saw a clip of him actually even almost yelling at the president. So in their group, these ones, if you raise, you must exhibit what we call ideological purity. For them, whenever they have had a difference among themselves, they have split. So there used to be FDC. Then Bet Kamia broke off with Uganda Freedom something. Then after that, Muntu went with Anti. Then he has come with the PFF. Because they cannot manage internal contradictions and differences, what Ssemujju laughs about NRM, I think it's its strength. Of course, you could say that the NRM benefits from the existence of the state, and the state and its resources act as a glue to hold them together. But that notwithstanding, historically, NRM can be given credit that when Museveni was in the bush, his core group were people who were leftist Marxists. But then they allied with the Catholic Church, which is very conservative, with Mengo, another conservative institution, with the monarchical interest in Tora and Ankole, which were also very conservative. And when they came to power, they tried to create a broad-based organization to reach out to so many. So NRM has that strength. And a lot of the confusion we see inside of them and this organization and they laugh at is actually a source of their strength. Now, so that is the positive part. The negative part that worries me is that confusion you see in NRM also has an effect on the country. If you drive through Kampala and look at how shabby this town is, it's potholes, it's garbage, it's open sewers, it's everything, is a reflection of the kind of disaster and confusion you see within the NRM. If you go to schools and hospitals, the kind of confusion you find there is inside the NRM. In fact, one has to worry if NRM is the one in charge of the state. Therefore, it has a significant influence on the Electoral Commission, which is supervised by the government. So the Electoral Commission, how is the NRM going to preside over a government that has an Electoral Commission, or a state that has an Electoral Commission that is going to organize a national election? Somebody has to wonder, is the national election also going to be like this? We have to ask that question. The final thing that I saw there is the democratization of the NRM in its full swing. You know, there's an American philosopher called Will Durant. He said there are three systems of government that have been successful and unknown to man. The first is aristocracy, ruled by birth. The second is theocracy, ruled by religion or religious clerics. The third is democracy, ruled by money. The more money you have, the higher the chances of success. So, what we saw in the NRM is your ability to win an election was largely, not entirely, but largely determined by how much money you could command. You saw what Anita Mong and the battle between Anita Mong and Kadaga, Rebecca Kadaga. There was the point that she was spending 300,000 per delegate, and then she spent about 7.5 billion to easily beat her. So she ended up getting 92%, and Kadaga was walloped because she didn't have money. Many Ugandans said, "Oh, in a democracy, this can't happen," but that's not true. If you look at the last election in the United States of 2004, 94% of members of the House who won an election spent more money than those that, the people who spent more money, 94% of those who won the seats in the House of Representatives spent more money than their opponent. In the Senate, it was 87.9%, which is roughly 88% of senators who won had spent more than their opponents. You can go to Sweden, the UK, and elsewhere. The more money you have, the higher the likelihood of success. Now, this money may be used differently. In Uganda, it may be used to give money directly to a voter. In America, it may be used maybe to
advertising, marketing.
Advertise and market, but whatever it is, money is an important political resource in a democracy, and that's what we are seeing.
Okay.
So that the election has been greatly monetized. The final things that we should also see about the NRM, don't panic my grandson, I'm about to give you the floor, is about 82% of NRM incumbent MPs lost the NRM flag. 301 out of? 343. Oh, so that's more than 82%. So the vast majority of NRM incumbent MPs lost the NRM flag, which also should give you an indication of not just the level of competition, but the kind of the response of NRM members across the country, outside of what we saw in Colorado. So many incumbents lost. How many ministers lost the flag?
Ministers should be around 7 now.
But anyhow, for me, it's a very good indicator that the NRM, they are very keen to throw out their people. May have seen Ssemujju here since he was elected under FDC. The man has become a permanent fixture, just like Museveni in the party and in the position he has in his constituency. Yes, but the NRM itself, with the exception of Museveni, all other ones of their members are really subjected to. NRM has a very high anti-incumbency bias. So in that sense, it is a party, from my perspective, that is actually continually renewing itself. It is able to shed off the old, bring in the new, and constantly change. And this is the strength, actually.
And I'll come back to you on that one. Honorable Ssemujju, coming to you. When you look at this new guard of SEC, what do you make of it? Except... yes.
About our SEC?
Yes.
Okay.
As you know what SEC is.
Their SEC has Nubian League.
Tangodoi, the political parties by law are public institutions. This is not your NRM. Taxpayers pay money partly to run this party. So it's a public institution, that's why you go to register. But for me, I think the point you started with, whether as a country we are making strides or not, because the nature of the NRM internal elections is also reflective of the general elections. NRM as a military outfit presided over by General Yoweri Museveni, who does not subject himself to any internal process. I remember when I was an observer, there was a lady, Elizabeth somebody from Ruwero. People didn't even know whether she was okay. She went and picked forms to contest first as a chairperson of NRM. But even in that state that people were doubting, Museveni immediately appointed her senior presidential advisor to make sure he doesn't face any election. Then he will preserve Chigongo because of history. Because when Professor Ure died during the Ruwero War, the Waganda fighters were always complaining that this thing was, this outfit was of herdsmen. So that's how Museveni made Chigongo the vice chair. But Chigongo was largely during the Ruwero War. Museveni's driver between Kampala and the bush. I respect him. There are many things I will not say about him. But that was his main job. Museveni goes to Kenya. When he comes back, it is Chigongo driving him to Nakulavia before he sneaks into Ruwero. So that's the vice. And those are the sort of vice that Museveni will want. Whether vice president, whether NRM vice chairman, the level must be of Chigongo, Jessica Rupo, and so on and so forth. So he will preserve himself, preserve Chigongo, and then if he wants Charigonza to go, he will get Bariomunsi. But Bariomunsi is also not the standard of SEC. Because the Bariomunsi I have known, he will speak his mind. Sometimes he say things that are very irritating, but he can't change himself. Bariomunsi is Bariomunsi. So that's why I think he has overstayed in the SEC. So you don't belong there.
But he was just there for 5 years.
No, he was there. There was an extension because of COVID.
No, he came during COVID.
I came during COVID.
Okay. Oh, dear. So you had to leave because you are Bariomunsi.
I'm going nowhere.
This election, you need to ask yourself, there's something that the media is not doing. This guy who defeated Mukura, Echodu, I was with him at Capital Gang. I thought he was an ordinary man. I leave the studio and he's saluted by the military. They are the ones opening his vehicles to end, even before he became a SEC member. So Museveni fixes these things early enough. When you're speaking about Anita Mongo with the money, which is true, Museveni gave Kadaga 800 million shilling and a chopper to go and campaign because the man likes confusion. So he gives the money and says, both of you can go and campaign. And so the change, the new faces we are talking about, that's how even the military starts. The time that General Kazin was in charge of military police, and he goes to arrest the Chihanda and Kashiring, very senior people who came here, because Museveni came here with about 5 1st, 3rd, 5th, and I think 7th battalion, and we were commanding them were the Kashiring, Chihanda. Then he sends the junior man, Kazin, to go and arrest them. Remember when Kashiring took off up to Congo. So he likes working with people who are vulnerable. The moment you exhibit some degree of stability, like Bariomunsi, you will leave. One of the crimes, I don't want to lose this point. One of the crimes.
I'm just adding to what you're saying. Are you suggesting that this was meticulously orchestrated?
It is. This is a military operation. You're dealing
to what
with
end?
You're dealing with a general. these institutions are there to rationalize decisions and to make Museveni look like he's democratic. Because there is no democracy in NRM. This SEC, the one that he has disbanded, the last time it had a meeting was when Oranya died and they were processing the next speaker. These grant holders, they gathered at Musa Court here for a meeting, even passed resolutions. And Museveni said he has given you permission to hold a SEC meeting. He invited them. From today onwards, all SEC meetings must take place in State House and resolution number 1. Let them, both of them, say that I am lying.
You are lying.
Tango Do, you a professor.
But you are lying.
So let Chris also say I am lying.
You are not accurate.
He said all the meetings must be in State House.
No.
Correct me.
You shall correct the record.
Then that particular SEC meeting had postponed the NRM roadmap. In the evening, Museveni said the roadmap starts tomorrow, I'm going to launch. The same people who had postponed it now walked to Plot 10 to receive Museveni to launch what they had postponed. But in the meeting, he came with the resolutions in his armpit, the one of Chigongo, and he kept saying, these Chigongo resolutions, these Chigongo resolutions. So these ones had to go. They were now wise-aching. Who are you even to sit, convene yourself and act like an institution when I am not there? One day, the Honorable Manyamshega told me all the NRM people, his contemporary, had a meeting, a conference hall at Parliament. They said, let's say, former Vice Kaziwe be the one to chair us. We need to speak. Museveni had a meeting. He came running. He said, you guys, why are you excluding me? This is a very good conversation about the future of the country. I should also participate. But he said, I am very busy, so let's postpone the one of today. I'll host the next meeting. It never sat. So the SEC, people who think that SEC is an institution that should function as an institution, Bariomos and the group, the ones who are behind the Chigongo resolutions that Museveni came holding, all of them have left. Now he has assembled a new army because Museveni likes working with people who are vulnerable. The moment you express stability, you are a problem, you've got to go. One of the meetings of SEC, Charlie Gonza arrives and he says, there's something I want to say here. When we were in Yoweri, we are the ones fighting, you remember. You are going to cause this country a problem. The other day they killed Abiriga, you ran at the scene of crime. He said, and I'm quoting Charlie Gonza, when your vehicle was torn in Arua, they had to kill people. Suppose they kill you, and why do you continue running to the scenes of crime? Second thing, we must discuss the transition. What happened next election? Charlie Gonza had to be replaced by Bariomos.
So you are saying to the president who brought me into SEC.
I am saying, so tell me if I am lying that Charlie Gonza didn't say these things when he was banging the table with his stick. So Charlie Gonza had to be head of tout of SEC. Now Bariomos came in, who at that time looked relatively junior. But Bariomos has now earned his right at the table. So he begins speaking the same way you see him here criticizing NRM elections. The next thing, I'll be surprised if he retains his cabinet post. Because in the past, Museveni would... Tango Doi... Tango Doi...
man is capable of being
Museveni always spoke about the right forum. At that time, you were in Makerere. I was covering Museveni. So I have a fair knowledge. You may have been closer to him, but I have a fair knowledge of how Museveni operates. So this new yes men and women he has assembled from Anita Mongo to Echedu. I was with Echedu, the man who can't communicate. You see, you are at a show like this, they ask you, say yes. Then the moderator is suffering. Yes, about what? He say, okay. That is now the guy in the SEC. I was with him.
No, he's not here. Don't discuss him.
Yeah. But the show was public. You mean we are in heaven? We are on a talk show when the man was sitting.
I know, he's not here.
So no, I'm telling you what happened. I'm not talking about him. Beyond the show, I don't know him. But he could not communicate.
But he's not here to
whether it was by choice, but he couldn't. So the new faces in SEC were carefree, selected were helped, and the mistake, and you can see by the way they behavior, and that's why these people had to leave. That Kadaga can go to Koro and he's saying, Your Excellency, this is unacceptable. Bariomus goes to Koro, he picks a microphone, this is not an election. You can't be in the SEC, Bariomus, you're in the wrong place. That's not the address for. So these others will come and say, these elections were the best in this country. This country. But even you, when you are complaining, why were you not complaining to Tango Doi, who's the chairman of the Electoral Commission? You're complaining to Museveni. Because the elections were being conducted by Tango Doi, but Bariomus was saying, Your Excellency, was he now the chairman of the Electoral Commission?
I was answering his question.
So what worries me?
Yes, I was answering.
What worries me?
Lastly,
it's the point Mwenda made in the passing, because Mwenda wanted to argue an academic. See, you can't have credible elections under Museveni. All that I was laboring to tell you is that most of the processes under Museveni are fixed. But Museveni is not stupid. I have said this and I will repeat. Museveni is an intelligent man with a bad heart.
Bad heart?
Yes.
No.
Very intelligent, but with a bad heart.
Museveni has a good heart.
That's how you measure him. It's you, Professor.
Yeah, I measure him as
and I don't want by people to blame Tango Doi. Tango Doi is just a hangerman. He doesn't pass the judgment. The judgment is passed by judges elsewhere. His job is to come and chop off the head.
thank you.
So Bariomus was unleashed, and that's why Bariomus deliberately, both Bariomus and Kadaga, were complaining about the elections, not to the chairman of the Electoral Commission, but to the judge himself who had passed the judgment. This one must go. None of them was addressing Tango Doi. Tell me why. Because they should be angry with the Tango Doi, all of them you have messed up.
No, because I will speak over your voice.
When you handle diplomacy, you represent who?
You are Ssemujju.
You represent who? And can you account for your funding? How do we hold you accountable?
Are you Ssemujju?
How do we hold you accountable? And whose views do you represent in your diplomacy?
You want this to generate into a quarrel?
These are concerning issues.
That's what you're going to achieve.
Account for your funding. Who funds you?
Why is that your issue? I find myself.
It is impossible.
You
to do public work.
You who account for your funding.
To do public
who
work.
And
who do you report to? When you disregard former channels, you disregard former channels. You purport to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You purport to be the ambassador. We can't know who funds you.
I have been involved, for example, in a relationship between Uganda and Rwanda. Because I have a good relationship with President Kagame, I have a good relationship with President Museveni, and I can carry messages in between. So sometimes state institutions are paralyzed or not the best suited positions to work. But always these formal institutions, rather informal institutions, must reinforce formal institutions. So formal institutions don't work in a vacuum. When you come to power, you will find... Hold a second. I do not disturb your presentation. Even when you are choosing
just information. I think it is intentional for the likes of Mwenda and his accomplices to dismantle democratic institutions and constitutional establishments, including ministries. Now you are seeing him confessing live that he has been engaged in diplomacy. And for us who are keeping government in check, we have a mission.
How do you keep Andrew in check?
we have a mission, an embassy in Rwanda with a diplomat and the staff. In fact, he's even a general.
Can I finish?
Now, it is facilitated and funded with a vote on taxpayers' money to execute diplomatic work and diplomacy. Now, when I hear that, it is now Mwenda doing their work, when we are also paying diplomats there, that's dismantling democratic and governance systems. We cannot abet it. We cannot abet it.
Honorable, allow him his time.
Yes. So first of all, you can clearly see he has not listened to me. I have explained to him, both theoretically and empirically, that formal institutions cannot work alone. They need informal ties. I can tell you. And I have given examples of so many governments in the developed world. So is this man, Vernon Jordan, who was Clinton's handler, who was not in the government, was he undermining America's democracy? This father-in-law of Trump's whatever, who is handling these peace negotiations, is he undermining American democracy? This guy, Alistair Campbell, who was helping out of government but working with Tony Blair to promote, no country can work without those informal connections. Are so important. And I have told you that informal networks can reinforce formal institutions.